Hello. So I'm a little late on this week's video. Early if I'm trying to stick with my 2-week thing, but I was trying to get one on this week. Unfortunately, as you can see, the ladder and a few of the open tiles had a bit of a leak. The apartment upstairs had a bit of a water spill, and it came down into the store. I got exceptionally lucky because literally an inch on either side, if the drips had come down, I would have had some damage to some of the stock. But I got super fortunate, and it came down in what is essentially the perfect spot if it has to come down at all. And nothing got damaged, just some ceiling tiles, and that was really it. So, but it did throw things into a bit of disarray this weekend. I had to close the store for the whole weekend. And yeah, pushed this back from when I was hoping to get it done until today. Not a great deal of things this week, but some nicer quality items, older items that I don't get very often. And yeah, so this was sort of what I came up with this week. Went to a garage sale, and there was a lady who had a whole bunch of sort of snowmobile and racing related stuff, and she turned out, I asked where she came up with it, and she said they bought the contents of a storage locker, and part of it came with a lot of aviation stuff, a lot of which she said she sold already, but there was some aviation stuff and sort of snowmobile stuff. So I noticed all these oil cans, and normally modern oil cans I don't bother with unless they're fairly old, but these are something I'd never seen before. Now obviously jet planes need oil too, but you don't really think about it that much, and you don't really see it out in the wild. So here are 4 different kinds of jet oil. The Mobil, and they're all the same oil on this one, but they each have different layouts on it. This one's more of a gray silver, and then these two are white with different kinds of things. And then that one back there is hydraulic aviation oil. Same thing again, something you don't see. Usually the only people who are going to get exposed to these are people who are working on jets, so that's going to be, I would imagine, for the most part, either military or airports. And so you're not going to see too many of these around. And the graphics are really great. Like that jet graphic is fantastic. So I had to pick those up. I think there were about 15 in total. Multiples of these basically, but still a nice pickup. Empty Darth Vader carrying case from '79. You can't pick up vintage Star Wars. You can't pass up vintage Star Wars anymore. It's just everything does sell eventually in there. It's got all the stickers on it. This one, because it's got Han and his Hoth battle gear, so it's probably Empire. Yeah, it would be Empire Strikes Back era. In fairly good shape. All the clips are there. Great collector's piece. So the other stuff that I got from that garage sale were some of these helmets and a jump suit. The first helmet, not terrifically old, probably 1970s. It's a cool sparkly paint job on there. Bubble visor, in pretty good shape inside. Sometimes you see these and they're just trash, but this one is in fairly nice shape. No company name I can find, but it's got the DOT on there, the dot, but I can't find anything else but that one. This one, I initially thought, it was the first one I saw, I initially thought it was like either a scooter cap or an old motorcycle cap, and I'm sure it can be used as either. But it actually says on the inside, snowmobile safety helmet for warmth and comfort, and it's made in England, because you know how much snow they get. The coolest thing about it is, other than the exterior, the interior, it's lined with cork. Now my dad used to ride motorcycles back in the UK when he was a kid in the 60s, and he said all the helmets had cork linings like that, so definitely from the 60s era, and in great shape again. Like usually the inside in here, these things are torn up. This one isn't. The leather is in nice shape. Even the clasp on it is in pretty good shape. But look at the leatherwork on the outside of that. Yellow and black like a bumblebee. Great stripe setup. Great half helmet. Again, if you own a scooter, this would be perfect for you. Or if you're driving an old 50s, 60s motorcycle, that'd be a great one too. But this is my favorite. Never seen this before. It is fuzzy. Yellow and black again, that seemed to be the theme. And if you look, where is it? Not that side, but this side. This one does have company markings on it here. It is the Canadian Polar helmet from the Owlite Equipment Company, JCB Plastics, out of Fort Erie. And right down there, it actually says on it, approved for motorcycles. So this is a motorcycle helmet. It's a 1970s helmet. It is fuzzy. I mean, when else are you gonna ever come across a fuzzy helmet? So that was kind of cool. The jumpsuit is probably same thing, circa 1970s. Blue with some orange highlights on there. Let's see, what's the tag? You can see it's an older tag. Stafford Manufacturing Company. Stratford Manufacturing Company, sorry, yeah, made in Canada. Tag's in great shape. The whole thing is actually in really great shape overall. You don't find them in this nice shape because usually afterwards they were usually used as secondary things like coveralls and things like that after the people had upgraded into sort of better jumpsuits as they came out over the years. The old ones got delegated to the garage and usually you find them covered in oil. But this one is in nice shape. And then the last sort of snowmobile related thing is this, came with that. I don't normally buy too many modern items, but this one is actually signed, and I believe it's by, the guy's name is Curtis Hibbert. He's number 68. He has been a rider for Arctic Cat for his whole career. He just retired a few years ago, but he is probably one of the most, if not the most decorated snowcross rider in the history of the sport. He won, I don't know how many gold medals, like 10, 12 gold medals at the X Games over the years. Won national championships, all kinds of stuff. And this was something that Arctic Cat did. They put these limited edition windshields out, and he signed them. I forget how many there were in total, but yeah, it's an actual signature on there, which is pretty cool because you always try to look for the best of the sport, like the GOAT, as they say, and pretty much he would be the GOAT of snowcross from what I can tell. So it's a nice item to have. Let's see what else. Oh yeah, the beer trays. So I get beer trays from time to time. Most of the ones I get are usually 1940s era, right at the like post-war or just a little bit pre-war. As you can see, I got a couple on the wall over there right now, Labatt's and a Dow. But these are early. One of them has a I believe it's 1903 copyright on it. The others don't, but I imagine that they're right around the same time, if not earlier. These are lithograph on tin. And the way it works is they're all made by a company in the United States that I can see. The images are stock images. You'll see these on other trays with different company names on them. And so what the company would do is they would go around to the different brewers and say, basically, we will put your name around the edges of the tray, and then you can give them to the different bars, and then it's basically free advertising. As the waitress comes out and serves you your beers on the tray, you get to see the beer company's name on there. So it was a early form of free advertising. They usually feature things like beautiful women on them, but in a second you'll see they also had a few more iconic type images. But this is a great one from Comer & Son, which was a very small brewery based out of Hamilton. Manufactured the very best carbonated goods, so I imagine they did more than just beer. A little bit of wear here and there, but when something this old, I mean, it really doesn't matter, because and as scarce as this, you're not going to find too many of these around. Usually collectors will just take it in any form they can get it. But that is a nice one. Here's the other one that came in, which was Grant Springs Brewery. Hamilton Brewers and Maltsters. Never even heard that term before, so there you go, learn something new. A little bit more damage on this, but again, same kind of thing. So scarce. You just don't find them. And the last one on this is a great image of a dog. As I said, they did more than just beautiful women. And this one is for Royal Canadian Whiskey. Let's tip it up. Royal Distillery, Hamilton, Canada. That's right. And there is safety in Royal Whiskey. And I'm assuming that just refers to the fact that back in the day, sometimes you would get some small fly-by-night brewers, and they would make some sketchy product that would go out, and you would have multiple poisoning cases. So at least with this, that's part of their advertising thing, is that basically you have safety when you're drinking Royal Canadian Whiskey. I guess. Sure, why not? But again, super rare, not the sort of thing, you know, maybe once or twice in your life you'll come across things like this, this early, this nice, and they were actually brought into the store by somebody who was looking to sell them. So that's a nice one. I don't even have to go out and look for them. Pick this up, great mod print, probably like late 60s, early 70s. It's a print stretched over just a canvas stretcher, basically. This one's a little bit dirty. I don't think it has any holes. It might have one or two tiny holes, but the thing is, you can take these right off the stretcher, clean them up, and then put them right back on. But it's a great image, and these are getting harder and harder to find because people are appreciating them more, and they're used as great wall pieces, especially over top of big sofas and things like that. So that's a nice piece to pick up. What else did I get today? What else? Oh, the chairs, right. So the chairs, great lines on these guys. Unsure of the wood. Can't tell if it's rosewood or mahogany. Definitely not teak, as you would expect with something this shape, but it is certainly either a rosewood or a mahogany. Strange thing about this group is they all have rounded legs except for this one chair, which for some reason has square legs. I'm imagining the original broke and they replaced it with these square ones. All the same tops. There is a marking on one of them. I can't remember which one, to tell you the truth. Let's move this. Hopefully this is the right one straight away. Oops. Yeah, okay. Sorry about the horrible camera work. But you can just see the marking there. I have searched high and low. I've asked other dealers who know this stuff. Nobody can recognize this mark. It looks like either a GF or a CF. Can't figure it out. But they're a nice set of 4 chairs. I would call them 4 matching, but obviously it's slightly off. The thing is, I think you wouldn't really notice. They've got a great stance. Great backsplash there on that. Wraps right around. So those are a nice pickup. And what do we have in the box? What's in the box? Oh, yeah, I picked up some china. These were thrown in, kind of interesting. If you have ever done Oktoberfest, this is would kind of be a fun thing to have on your mantle. There were a pair of them. But down further in the box are these. Now, this is vitrified china, and it was used primarily in diners, cafeterias, mess halls, that kind of thing, because it's very chip resistant. So if you've seen old 1950s diners with their original china, it would look like this. But what's interesting is that is the University of Western Ontario in London. That's their crest. These are their colors. And I imagine that these came out of their cafeteria, probably circa 1950. And there's several pieces. I don't imagine much of this kind of stuff survived. And there's quite a few cups, some saucers, 1 or 2 bowls, and then this guy, which I think this guy isn't quite as old as the other ones. I don't know if there's anything on that one too. Oh, maybe. That looks like the Sovereign Potter's mark on there, decorated in Canada. So you never know. That could be Sovereign Potters. But I don't believe I found markings on any of these others. I haven't gone through them. Oh, there's one. There you go. You're alive, Jay. Let's see. How's that for some terrible camera work? Ridgeway? Sure, Ridgeway Potteries in England. So that's kind of cool. You don't see stuff, as I said, from this area because most of the time it would have just got tossed after they had upgraded to a new set of china. And I don't even know if they have china in the cafeterias there anymore. But if you went, you know, for an alumni of the University of Western Ontario, this would be a great, great piece. Certainly put it up there with your degree. And last but not least, as I said, it wasn't too much this week, but quality pieces. This is a nice early, I'll lay it out here on the floor, Montreal Canadiens, and very early, I'm talking, this is again is another 60s piece, kids duffel bag, or equipment bag. And there is the graphic on it. It's a little beat, you know, it's stained. It was used and well loved by a kid. Backside's got a bit of a split on it there, but it's still got its original string. The original grommets are in it. Probably a scarce piece. I've actually seen leaf ones before, but not, this is the first Montreal one I've come across. Probably a little more popular in Quebec. But early hockey stuff is basically gold. This won't stick around very long, I imagine, even if I'm not sure if I'm going to put it up online or just have it in the store. But either way, it'll go pretty quickly. So that is it for this week so far. Hopefully I can get through this week without any more leaks. And next week I'll hopefully have some more stuff to go through with you guys. If you guys could subscribe to the channel, that'd be great. I was looking at the numbers that YouTube send me, and something like 90% of the people who are viewing this aren't subscribed. Even if half you guys who aren't subscribed could subscribe, that would be great. It'd be super encouraging for me, and it would, you know, just kind of egg me on to keep up at this. I've got some great feedback from people, and I really do appreciate it. So I'm going to keep doing it just because I am having fun with this. And the nice thing is I can go back and look at the treasures I had after I sold them. Because sometimes you get a little bit of dealer's regret when you sell one or two things, but this is a way I can sort of go back and say, yeah, that was a nice piece. So that's it for this week. Like and subscribe, as they say, and I hope you all have a good week this week. Cheers.